Hello and welcome to Monthly Melf for the month of May 2021.
It is still 2021.
Yep, for now. And we are going to kick off like we always do with our verses. I got to choose this month. This month I decided to make the topic board game artist. Not
Very tough category.
Well, a lot of people put out lists of like their favorite board game art, but they never mention the artist name, which I feel upset for those artists because they're like, "Oh, I love this game, it's art," but who doesn't? They're like, "I don't know."
Yeah, I mean, I think games are, some games are really nice. But some of my favorite games don't have great artwork. I don't know. I've looked at the art, and yes, I have said some of our fun size takes. The game's gorgeous, and art has become a huge selling point in the board game industry, I think. If the game doesn't look good, it won't sell.
Well, unless it's an abstract strategy game.
Yeah.
Their art's still secondary.
Well, I mean, and one of the
most of the
artists
time.
we have on here was a big artist in an abstract strategy game.
Yeah, I do have an abstract game that has an artist
Um,
because they throw a theme on it.
Yeah, and I think he's on my list as well. But yeah, I mean, abstract doesn't really have art, but there are some amazing artists and just some beautiful artwork. And I was surprised actually in looking at some of the games that I was thinking of. There's no artist credited, like the Marvel Legendary game.
Okay.
There, I didn't notice an artist that was credited for it, so I'm guessing because it's just Marvel scenes, it could be Marvel artists. I don't know.
Upper Deck puts that out, right?
Yeah, well,
so it's probably
Cryptozoic, Upper Deck Cryptozoic, one of them.
It's Upper Deck because Cryptozoic's DC.
Yeah.
So it's probably an amalgamation of artists.
The Marvel artist is what I'm guessing.
Yeah.
So I don't know. And even for the DC artwork, it didn't give a person. I mean, that artwork's okay. It's comic book art.
Yeah.
But we're going to start with my number 5, which again is the best list. And these are in no specific order. I just gave 5 artists that I liked to Tim, and he just put them down.
See, mine are in order.
So I'm starting with Peter Walken. I believe is the gentleman's name here. I'd say the 2 biggest games he's known for are Dead of Winter and Sagrada. Dinosaur Island's one of his, and Backyard Builder's Treehouse is another one that I have on my list. And I actually have another artist who did art for that as well on my list. For me, Dead of Winter, the art's okay. Dinosaur Island I haven't played, but I love the colorfulness of the box.
It's very 80s.
Yeah.
Neon deco.
But Sagrada, I know it's
not a whole lot of art to it.
No, but I love that stained glass look. So that's my number 5, Peter Walken.
My number 5 is Pablo Scapio.
Paolo
Scapio. He's an Italian artist. He works with the Ludus Magnum Studio people, the ones that do Dungeonology, Black Rose War.
We own, but we haven't played.
There's a couple games that we own that we haven't played because they're bigger games.
Quite a few.
But both those games sold me based on the art. And the art for these 2 games is very different. Black Rose War is very dark, like Dark Souls kind of art, very gloomy. And Dungeonology, as you can see there, is a very cartoony, kind of like Sheriff of Nottingham kind of art to it. So they're a fairly younger studio. It was actually hard to figure out which one was the artist when I was looking through these games because they would list the 3D sculptor first, then the concept artist, then the model artist, and then he was the 4th name down as the artist for
the artist.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, I didn't even think about the sculpting artist and things like that.
I came across that a couple times. I'm like, I don't know how I'd rank 3D sculpted art. Maybe that's a list in the future, but that's.
Yeah, I mean, none of the people I picked here
I mean, I could
have
just
done any of that, I believe.
Yeah, we went with more classic arts.
I think the ones I've picked are just artists.
Yeah.
But yeah, that 3D model sculpting, that's a big deal now.
Yeah.
Miniatures games.
Yeah. I figure half of Come On is all 3D artists at this point.
Find the actual artist there.
Yeah. Which makes you wonder if they do the 3D art first and then art off of that.
Well, no, because you have to have a rendering of what you want the sculpt to be.
Yeah, but you have to have.
You just don't print a sculpt.
No.
You have to have something you put into the printer to injection mold it or however they do it, 3D print it.
So you have to have something that can be 3D printed. So you wouldn't want the artist to go first and then be like, oh, I can't make that because of how it's drawn. So you think, because there are 3D artists that do 3D art. So then they would have the 3D art and then work their way back to 2D art.
Yeah, I mean, there's graphic artists and things like that. One of the guys in the autograph hobby that I won a contest through, he does a lot of graphic art on computer. Yeah. But the 3D model thing got me thinking of something that we'll cover some other time. Because 3D printing is a huge thing, and I just saw about a resin printer. And it's in this liquid and it prints and cleans and looks awesome. I'll have to show it to you. But anyways, going on.
That was my number 5.
My number 4 is Best Sobel. Again, these are in no particular order. Best Sobel, well known Calico, which we haven't played.
I haven't even seen it physically yet, being played. I've seen it for sale. But
I haven't seen it being played, but I know it's hugely popular.
Yep.
Wingspan, great artwork.
Yep.
But for her, some of the games that I've either played or enjoyed the artwork, Atlas, the Enchanted Lands from Renegade Games, we own that.
Yep.
I played that. Beautiful artwork. Here's one that might surprise people with the artwork and that she was apparently part of it is Circle the Wagons from Button Shy Games. Not great artwork, by some people, but it fit the game. That's the thing. The artwork fit the game. It was a Western,
I think there is only 4 pieces. There's a skull, a cow, a gun, and a bottle.
Well, there's the desert.
Well, I'm not counting
the landscape stuff.
Yeah.
It fit. It didn't have to be as graphic as Wingspan or an Atlas, but I thought the art was really cool. Herbaceous. We actually just covered that in a fine size take that'll be coming out. I don't know if it's out or will be coming out.
It will be coming out.
Beautiful artwork there. Yeah. It must have been good if you can tell what the herb is just from the picture.
Well, I chalked that up to my $4.2 billion education.
I didn't know what they were, except for when it was listed in the book. But great artwork. Tussie Mussy, another Button Shy game.
Tussie Mussy. Don't.
It's flowers.
Oh, okay.
We own it. We haven't played it yet.
I didn't know we owned it.
Yeah, we own a lot of Button Shy.
Well, that we do.
Because they're local, and when we go to PAX Unplugged, we always buy 5 because it's 5 for whatever. Yeah. And then Wonderland, the Alice in Wonderland game that I believe was just available on International Tabletop Day the one year.
They had an International Tabletop Day variant.
Okay, well that's the one we have.
Yeah.
So again, that was Renegade. All beautiful artwork. Many of you already know Best Sobel, incredible artist.
Yeah. My number 4, if it comes up here, is, I want to say it's pronounced Marie Cardot.
Cardot.
Yeah, because the U would make the O. Cardota.
I'm guessing it's French, so Cardot.
Yeah, I'm not French, so I can't claim to know.
So we apologize for mispronouncing your names. If you are one of these artists and watching it, it's on Tim for mispronouncing.
Yeah. But she does the artwork for a couple of the Dixits. She did the first Dixit, and then Odyssey, and one other one, and then Abracadab what? Which I never heard of it, but the art looks the same. Looking at this, when I think of her art, because it all has that kind of same style, it reminds me of 90s child books, like for little kids. It has that kind of art to it, like child, like storybook art. Like when I look at,
See, I think Dixit, and I think like weird modern art.
see, I don't get that. This reminds me of the art of the books I would have in elementary school.
I mean, we had a friend who didn't like Dixit because of the art.
No, he didn't. He didn't like games that I guess don't have words.
Oh, okay. I thought it was the art.
Something like that. No, I don't think he hated the art. But
Now, did they also do Mysterium, or is that a different artist?
that's a different artist.
Okay, because the Dixit Mysterium, you know,
No, her style is very much what you see on screen here. It's the very thin line, pastel colors.
Okay.
Just very good looking art. That's my number 4.
All right, and my number 3, in no particular order again, is Vincent Dutray. Again, another hugely popular artist. Again, both him and Beth Sobel have done over 100 plus games. So Tim has Lewis and Clark, Treasure Island. I've seen Lewis and Clark. I've never seen Treasure Island. But Vincent Dutray has done Backyard Builder's Treehouse. So again, him and Peter Walken did the art for that. Holly Festival of Colors, which we own but we haven't played yet. It's on our shelf of shame, or a pile of shame.
There's not really much art to that game.
It's colorful.
Well, yes, because it's about colors, but there's not really art. You get a card and it has a color on that card.
That's still art to some people.
I mean, somebody had to draw the circle with the color on it.
Yeah. Jaipur, which the new Jaipur, I'm not sure if that's the one he did, if he did the original or he did the art for both. It was when I typed in Jaipur on BGG, it just gave him as the artist. The updated one looks great.
Is that the one we play? Or
we play the old one.
Okay.
But the new one looks great too. Wyatt Earp, which it's an older game, so it's that 90s art, Wild West art. Again, there isn't a whole lot to it. And New York 1901.
Okay.
The city landscape there and everything.
Yeah.
And the box cover on that I think is pretty cool too. So that is my number 3. Again, no particular order. Vincent Dutray.
My number 3 is Matthew Mizak. That's how I would pronounce it. He does a lot of work for Thunder Griffin. Or
Thunder Griff.
Griff, yeah. I don't know why I keep calling them Thunder Griffin. Just sounds.
You're thinking of Family Guy.
Yeah. He does a lot of work for them. He's done the Tang Gardens. He's done Awari.
Tang Garden is incredible. That is beautiful art. That game is just. It's more of a piece of art than game, I think.
I think Awari is underrated for its art. I mean, it's not a lot because everybody's looking at the massive board.
Yeah.
But the cards are really great.
Fun game.
So he's done a lot of stuff in that realm. He's done, I think it was either 10 or so games. He hasn't done a ton, but what he's done is really like big scale like this. So, just really like how he has a lot of stuff with soft edges, as they say, where you really don't see a finishing line.
Yeah.
Like you can see here on Awari, like you really don't see an outline to the cliff or the people. The color just bleeds into the other colors, which is really nice.
Okay.
Same with Tang Garden. Everything just kind of goes into each other. You don't really see any hard edges. So that's my number 3. Oh, sorry. Matthew Mizark. And then Doug's number 2.
Number 2, and I guess this is a spoiler crossover.
Yep.
Sort of. Because it's Mr. Cuddington, which is a husband and wife team. And the game that sold things for me there was Steampunk Rally Fusion. I love the artwork on there. I think it's colorful and just the artwork ties everything together. I think in that game.
Yep.
Grim Forest.
Yep.
Beautiful game, great artwork, and that was I think the thing that sold Grim Forest.
Oh yeah.
Was the artwork when it was first on Kickstarter. That was what Druid City Games.
Mm-hmm.
I believe the artwork sold the game more than the game itself.
Yeah, because it's a very basic game.
It is, and
which is nothing wrong with that.
When it was on Kickstarter, that was the biggest praise that it got. Was the artwork. Mm-hmm. Title Blades we haven't got a chance to play it. I think he does one more, and I'll let you talk about that one.
Well, spoilers for Doug's number one. So Doug was David Frost from the group. I just gave him half of them. I took the other one, which is the wife of the group, Lena Cosette. No, I'm not good with names.
Close.
They are a team, so they've done a lot of things. Santorini, which by all accounts is an abstract game with a theme on it.
But the cards.
Oh, the cards are fantastic.
They're amazing. The artwork on there is incredible. Mm-hmm. Again, the gameplay is good, even though I'm absolutely terrible at it.
Yeah,
I've never won.
Mm-hmm. And
the friend that you play, you've never beaten him.
Correct.
So I would lose to him in less turns.
Yep.
But yeah, the artwork's great on that.
Yeah. So that's our number 2, Mr. Cunnington. And all their great work that they've done.
Yep. And my number 1, and this is strictly for the dice thrown artwork. Again, no specific order, but Manny Tremblay, all the artwork in Dice Throne, I love. Mm-hmm. The Gunslinger, I think's amazing, and the season 2 artwork. Mm-hmm. Season 1 was great. Season 2 just blew season 1 away. The detail, just how everything tied together artwork wise. Amazing.
I am looking forward to the new game that he's doing, which is Radlands. It reminds me a lot of Dinosaur Island because it's a lot of neon pops and heavy blacks, which is something different from him, but it looks, as the game says, rad in the title. So that's a good number 1.
And you were a baby in the 80s.
For only when I was a baby.
Yeah. Well, from 0 to 4.
Yeah. But that's your number 1. My number 1 is Andrew Bosley. Best known for, I would say, Everdale. People love Everdale.
And again, I think that game sold because of the artwork.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
It's a simplistic game. Mm-hmm. There is depth.
Yeah.
But I think when it first hit Kickstarter, it was absolutely the artwork that sold Everdale.
Well, I know when I backed the big box here instead of the all-in because I already had everything, so I didn't need to do everything again. One of the selling points of the box is you get an art book, and it's art of the game in a book, which some games do that. And I never care about that. Yeah. But this one, I'm really excited for this art book.
Yeah.
And I also did Tapestry, which surprised me. For such a huge game, I never put the two together. But when I look at the little woodland house-like things in the front of Tapestry, I can see it there. Once again, he's done about 20, 30 projects.
Okay.
But
yeah, and the thing is, board game artwork now, again, I keep saying that the art sold the game. I think nowadays, a game with beautiful artwork will sell even if the game is just mediocre.
I think it helps push people off the fence if the art's great.
Yeah. If they're going, this game's okay.
Mhm.
If it's a beautifully illustrated game, they'll back it.
Yeah.
If they're going, and it's, 8-bit art, unless you're into 8-bit art or whatever.
8-bit art sells a lot of things. People love the 8-bit work.
Yeah.
Like 90% of video games that you see like during like these E3s and whatnot, like with fancy 8-bit graphics, I'm like, no, we can do things up to 5K now. Like fancy 8-bit graphics. I'm like, why? I mean, if it's thematic, like boss monsters,
Yeah.
fantastic. But I never looked at boss monsters and said that's a great looking game because 8-bit art's not for me.
But it's one of those things where, unless it ties into the theme of the game, a lot of people like just the black and white art. I'm not in art will sell a game to me.
Yeah.
Even if I'm on the fence about it. But that's our fives. Again, it was a little different than, I should say a little different than what we normally do because we are a board game channel.
Well, this is only a second list that dealt with board games.
Yeah, but, it's a little different than something we would talk about.
Yeah, because we actually had to do research.
Yeah.
Which we're not great at.
No, I'm good at babbling off the cuff, and you're good at just babbling.
But in the comments below, tell us who you thought had the better top 5, and leave one of your favorite artists in the comments. Maybe we skipped over somebody that you thought was really great, and we should take a look at.
Or what game you think has great art or what game you think has good art that other people don't.
Yeah.
That's a big one. Like my favorite game of all time, I think has okay artwork. It's not great artwork.
It could be
it's
bad.
just okay. But my number 2 and number 3 have, I think, good artwork.
Yeah.
So.
I would definitely put different games on here if it was just games with artwork.
Yeah.
Like Parks, we agreed on would probably be on both.
I was just gonna make that my number 1 through 59.
But yeah, it has 59 different artists. I would have had Drop Mix on here, but Drop Mix has over 81 artists, I think it says.
So there's your 1 through 81.
Yeah.
In no particular order.
But
so that was our top 5. Moving on to our Kickstarters.
Yep. And I'm first.
All right, we'll let Tim talk about his.
If the screen will switch. There we go. I'm going with Actually as my Kickstarter. It just launched a couple of days ago. It will be up until June 16th. That's when it goes off. Actually is a trivia game about nerdy facts. It's about being super pedantic with the questions. It will give you a question or a statement where everything's true but one thing.
Why do I know the word pedantic? What show is that on?
I know they say a lot actually, but pedantic's been around since they came up with the word.
I'll think of that later. It might have been Family Guy.
Maybe.
Or The Simpsons.
Could be. So we'll give you a statement that's like all true except for one thing. Like Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, he visits the land of Oz through taking the metro train into it. And he would say, actually he takes the something trolley. I don't know if the trolley
takes the trolley.
Well, I'm sure the trolley has a name.
To the land of make believe.
Yeah,
he takes the metro to the land of Oz.
Yeah. But see, if you would say that, you wouldn't get a point. Because
I didn't say actually?
Exactly.
Wait, is this that show you showed me one time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a web series.
Yes, you showed it to me one time.
Where, it's nerds being nerds, but who can be the nerdiest nerd?
Well, then I'm out.
Well, see, I think if they have a version of this show, but with sports, because they're sports nerds, where everybody loves Bobby Bodilla, and he celebrates Bobby Bodilla Day every August 2nd. You'd be like, actually, it's October 5th is Bobby Bodilla.
No, it's July 1st.
See, and that's where you would get the point until you said...
Sorry, actually, it's July 1st.
Yeah, see?
And I believe it's for another 10 years.
Probably.
Or another something like that. He gets $1 million from the New York Mets from his contract, even though he quit playing 15 years ago.
Yeah. Nothing better than being a player that's told you're so bad we'll pay you never to play.
Yes.
I wish I was that bad that they would pay me. But yeah, it's a super basic Kickstarter because it's a trivia game.
It's a party game.
Yeah. There is one pledge level on here that I wanted to bring up, which is the $500 pledge level, which gets you a prop off the show. I love the props on their show because they're all just slightly off. Like there is the Star Trek symbol not being right.
Oh, is that what that's supposed to be?
Yeah,
I can't even do the Star Trek thing. That's my Star Trek live long and prosper.
You know, they have, instead of 20 sided dice, it's 21 sided. I think instead of saying Ecto 1, there says like Ecto like 3 or something like that.
I would say Ecto Cooler.
Yeah. But it's just like nerd props that are slightly wrong, which I always find hilarious. I do love this show because I love seeing people that are passionate about certain things arguing about being more right than the other person. Like they'll have a question about Harry Potter and somebody will ring in and get the right answer, but another person will ring in and be slightly more right, which I love when you can be slightly more right than a person. Because I'm one of those people. I'll get into an argument and be like, "You're right, but I'll tell you what is more right."
Well, this sounds like arguments we have at home.
Yeah, and I'm always the mostest right, as they would say. So that's one of my. We're doing 2 Kickstarters this month, as we decided last month. So my first one was Actually, going until June 16th. And then your first one.
So my first one is Vivid Memories. Mm-hmm. This is by Ben Harkins and Floodgate Games. Ben Harkins also has done that Holly Festival of Colors. Yep. News at 11, which we haven't played. It's a storytelling game.
Yeah.
Which I think you'd be good at, and Sagrada.
Okay.
So he's been part of all those. Vivid Memories is for 2 to 4 players. You take turns collecting fragments of childhood memories.
Okay.
Which for you would be terrible because your childhood memories don't make sense because I think you just live in an alternate world.
I live in a horrified childhood memory.
Things you've made up.
I disagree.
So you'll store important memories into your memory bank, gaining new abilities to help you score. You create connections and earn rewards for completing core memories.
Okay.
Matching the imagination behind each moment and working towards your lifelong aspiration for victory. So during the game, you take fragments of the memories from the moment tiles, placing them into the brain board, and you weave them into a tapestry of colored threads. You use abilities at the end of each round to create connections.
Okay.
Players are rewarded for how they store their memory fragments while working towards completing those core memory goals, which give you repeated benefits each round. And then you store important moments in your memory bank, gaining new abilities and new opportunities to score, all while working to collect fragments that match what they aspire to. Okay. So this would be a terrible game if you went off your so-called real-life memories where you believe that you were left in Ohio at a rest stop, which you weren't.
I disagree. I lived through it.
I was there.
Well, no, you weren't because I was left.
I was in the car, and we never left you in Ohio.
Mm-hmm. Next thing you'll tell me I wasn't locked in cages with calves.
Well, no, you weren't in a cage with a calf.
Mm-hmm.
You had a playpen made.
I was caged like an animal as a child.
Well, that's so you didn't get hurt while Mom and Dad worked in the barn.
Yeah.
You actually had a playpen that...
They could have taped me to the back of a cow.
You thought that you were being drowned in the water bowl by calves.
Mm-hmm.
So those are the kind of memories Tim claims he has. But I just thought it looked cool. Mm-hmm. And bright, colorful. Yeah. And I thought you were going to put when they went off.
I do have the date on that on the bottom here. It goes off May 21st. It's under the note part.
Okay, so
it's not gonna...
there you go. May 21st. So it is done. So it's already done. Yeah. Once this came out. So hopefully you backed it. To me, it looked like a pretty cool game.
My second Kickstarter is Keystone North America. It ends June 17th. This game reminds me a lot of Habitats. Uh,
I really do like this game.
you'll be drafting cards into your, they don't call it Habitat, but into your play area.
Yeah.
And it's a grid of, I want to say it's 4x4 or 4x5, one of the two. And each card on it has symbols like desert or rain or eats this. And you have to try to line things up in rows or columns to score more points. And each one, like if it's an essential animal for that area, has like a little keystone symbol. So it's like a multiplier. Um, you can get the standard edition for $45. They have a deluxe edition, I want to say is 65. You can play all the way down to 1 player to 4. Here's some of the art from it. You really can't make out the symbols on because of how small it is, but the art's very nice. It reminds me of the old Field and Stream artwork that they used to have on the covers. At first I thought it was a tile game, but they're square cards, which I don't have too many games that have square cards. But looks like a very simple game to pick up. Plays very fast. If you want to watch a playthrough, I think Tantrum House just did a playthrough. It would have been 2 weeks since this is aired on our channel. Really fascinating game. It's a little puzzly because you have to try to get things that line up in your rows and columns, or you can start hate drafting, which is always fun to do. Like, I know they need this and it won't help me, I'm taking it. So that's my other Kickstarter, Keystone North America. By the name of it, I'm assuming they'll probably have future games like Keystone East Asia or Keystone
What they
Australia.
need to do is have Keystone, Pennsylvania.
Yeah,
It is the Keystone State.
yeah. I wouldn't mind if they did this with other places like Australia, or they'll probably do Africa because you get your bigger animals.
Yeah, I mean, Australia is the deadly version.
Yeah.
Because every animal in Australia tries to kill you.
Oh, no, there's one animal that doesn't. I forget what it's called. It's like a little, I think it's called a kawaka or something. It looks like a rat that always looks like it has a permanent smile on its face.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like
I'm sure it tries to kill you.
No, because it loves tourists. Because if that's like the main food source is tourists giving it food.
I thought the main food source was tourists.
No, like this animal evolved super smart. It realized people love seeing animals smile. So tourists will just give it food. So this animal like has no like way of getting food besides getting fed.
Huh.
Yeah.
It would have been better if it was they evolved to liking tourists.
Yeah.
We could use some of those here.
Yeah. That was Keystone North America, and your game that you're about to do was such a pain for me to get a PowerPoint for because it doesn't like things that move. Every picture on your Kickstarter, everything moves in this game. There's not a single thing that doesn't move. So
this is sort of a game, sort of not a game.
I don't think it's a game.
It's under the games.
Well, yeah.
So it's called Spintronics, and it's by Paul Boswell.
I mean, even in this picture, it says puzzle book.
It's a puzzle game.
It's a puzzle.
It's a puzzle game. So it's actually players are building mechanical circuits to solve puzzles. Players feel the pull of the voltage. They see the flow of currents, and you get to discover electronics in a tangible way. Because if you ask Tim, he discovered electronics and electricity in a very tangible way.
Yeah.
That was unsafe.
Yeah, it's completely safe. Metal and hot wires are fine.
When you go to change a thing and you know when you ask is the breaker off and you expect it to be off because it's labeled that, and you go and touch it and it's not off. Yeah. So
I just say I'm well insulated, so that probably saved my life.
But so you electronics is the foundation of modern technology, and so much of what we use. But it's a difficult subject to understand because you can't see it. Mm-hmm. You know, I can't see the currents running through the walls to the lights and everything. And electronics and electricity are just to me, they're abstract.
Mhm.
It can be seen and felt, but you see it as in a lightning bolt.
Mhm.
You feel it when you stick your finger in a light socket
Mhm.
to test to see if the power's off. Um, so you rely on math for a lot of electronics. So instead of electronics, electricity flowing in this, that's all used with chains and things, as you can see on the screen. When you hook things up, players build all sorts of contraptions and with the components. So there are lots of advanced concepts. If you watch the video, it talks about, whys and current splitting and currents doing this. And
Open currents, closed
yeah,
currents, or open cycles,
yeah.
closed
So
cycles.
once you get the puzzle figured out, the little thing that you built will work. And in the videos it shows all the pulleys going and all. It just, I could sit there and just kept watching that. It looked amazing. Again, it's a puzzle book. So is it a game? Nah, it's a puzzle.
And you know how I am about these Kickstarters. They gotta be games.
Well,
no soaps, no candles, nothing like that.
Yep. But where you get like your unlock card games.
Yeah.
That's a puzzle. It's
Yeah.
not a game.
Yeah, and there's
Yeah.
like
Chronicles of Crime. It's a puzzle
Yeah, I mean, there's
with a game element.
what's that company called? Like Smart Games, where it's like the cars moving and
Yeah.
I mean, those are
We
considered.
have a bunch of those.
They're considered games, but they're puzzles.
Yeah. But this looks outstanding.
Mhm.
And I forgot to look at what the base pledge level is. I don't know if
I think it's 45. And
this just looks awesome.
it goes to the 19th of June.
Okay, so that sounds like it would be a very nice birthday present.
A birthday present.
A birthday present to a certain brother who thinks that this is really cool, from another brother who should get his brother something nice.
Yeah, you need to get one of those. Nice, brother, not something cool.
But Spintronics, check it out.
Yep. Like always, in the comments below, leave Kickstarters that you think we should have checked out.
Yeah, what are you backing?
Yeah.
What should we back, or what should he back?
Because you apparently don't know how to back things.
I'm saving for a vehicle.
And I'm not.
And I don't know how to back on Kickstarter.
Yep. But it doesn't have to be games. You can suggest anything for us to take a look in Kickstarter.
Yeah.
A new skillet, fancier shoes. I think I saw a tie that like doubled as like suspenders.
I wish I could remember the one thing that I just watched on the Dice Tower that they were talking about. When they do the non-board game ones.
Oh.
There was one on there that I couldn't help but just laugh, and I wish I could remember. But it was more than 2 days ago.
Yeah.
But so that was our Kickstarters.
Yep.
And we're gonna head over to the game we played this month.
And we're getting into our play for this month. This month, I've chosen the game Herbaceous,
Yes.
Herbalist. I got it right.
Herbaceous.
It's one of, I think, we only played 3 games this month, so it's easy to pick. It was this, Sunset Over Water, or other.
Unlock. The unlock games.
Yeah.
I thought we played something else too.
Maybe. So this one won the random lottery for the ones I picked because it has one of your artists there, Best Sobel, listed as the artist.
And you do like Steve Finn games.
Yep.
Including, I think they did Biblios.
Maybe.
But you love Biblios.
I just wanted to give a shout out to the people at Pencil First. I think I haven't played a Pencil First game that I haven't liked. Enjoy all their games.
This game was fun, very quick.
Yep.
Artwork was great, as I talked about earlier.
All the artwork that you'll see behind me is from the standard edition. We played the pocket edition.
So the standard edition does have the thing listed.
Yeah, it just tells you what the stuff is. That's the only difference. Because before, Doug would hold up a picture of this flower, and he's like, "What herb is this?"
You claim you spent like $15 million on schooling.
$6.2 trillion is my student debt. And that's after just one semester.
Yep.
I'll never climb out of student debt.
Yep.
But very little wording. I think the only words that come in our editions are the cards you currently see on there, which is the scoring cards. And even those, the only words on there is cards and points.
Yeah.
So like in the top left corner of your screen there, it says, has 3 symbols with the non-equal to. So it's number of cards in your garden that aren't the same. So if I plant 7 different herbs, I would score 14 points.
Mm-hmm.
The one below that is same of cards. So if I had like 3 chives, I would score 10.
And you can only plant once into that.
Yes, you can.
So you can't do like 3 chives and 3 of something else.
Each card can only be used once, and there's only 4 ways to score. The other one is pairs, and you can't have the same pairs.
Yep.
And then the last one is just any 3 cards. And there's 3 special cards that you can put in there. If you get those 3 and you get 1, 2, and 3, you get an additional
5 bonus. Yeah, and that's the first person to do it.
Yeah, the other one doesn't.
So in a 2-player game, you take cards out of the deck.
Yes.
So the one game we didn't have
24 cards.
Well, we didn't have
one of
the special ones, so nobody could finish that. But yeah, so your plan, you take a card from the deck and decide if you want to keep it or put it in the community garden.
Mm-hmm.
And so let's say I draw a card and I decide to keep it. The next one I take has to go into the community garden.
Not your next turn, because on your turn
you draw 2. But you draw them one at a time. So draw one, decide if it's going to the community or you. Next one, you have to do the opposite. Mm-hmm. And then when it comes back around to you, then you either can take cards out of the community garden, mm-hmm, or use yours, or a combination of both to fulfill one of those planning scenarios. 2-player game, it was okay. We ended up with a lot of cards in that community garden. I think you add 3 and 4 players now where there's more people taking out of that community garden, because we were getting 7 cards into
the community garden.
Well, no, into where we were planning.
Yeah.
We were getting the max cards a couple times. Mm-hmm. Where I think with 3 or 4 players, even though you're using all the cards, I think there's a chance that you're never going to get to that 7. Because
plus, you can't plan further ahead with more people. Like with just the 2 of us, I was willing to take chances of throwing things in the community thinking, okay, I've seen what he's been throwing out there.
Yeah, you know what the person has too.
Yeah.
There's no hidden information.
Yeah. So I only had to focus on your hand and my hand. So I'm like, I can get rid of this because I know he's not working towards this.
Yeah.
But
I enjoyed it.
Oh, absolutely.
I would like to play it with 3 or 4 just to give that a try. Yeah, most of the games we play are just going to be the 2 of us.
Yeah. And something wrong with that. A lot of games are 2 players.
No.
But yeah, it's a game I would take up to the game table and have people play with us.
Yeah, definitely.
Which
I think they may have the full-size version up there. I don't know.
I don't think I've seen Pencil First games up on the shelf anywhere.
I don't know. I have to look.
But that was the game we played this month, which was
Herbaceous.
I was going to say Herbalist again, because no one says herbaceous. It's the word I know, because I looked it up to see if they were mocking like the English language. But that was the game we played, and this month for Off Topic, Doug got to pick. And like always, I got to make a fun little background because I never know what he's talking about. So I think I kind of got what you're talking about. It's Mr. T teaching a class to a cat for some reason about the history of pitying the fool. He's got up to the part where he's talking about penny farthings, the big wheel bike, and that cat clearly has a question, which makes me think Mr. T is not a good teacher.
Or the cat's wondering why he's learning that.
Or why he's in the class.
Yeah, why the cat's the only one there.
Yeah, maybe he thought he was supposed to be in a different class.
Huh.
But it's a class I would take. History of pitying the fools.
Yeah, I probably would too.
Yeah. Find out the first fool that was pitied.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for off topic, being the month of May, we're coming into the summer. So we'll talk about what are some of our favorite things to do during the summer.
Okay.
Which I already know what yours is.
Not be in the heat.
That's your number one.
Well, I'm not built for the heat. As you can see, I'm a larger person. The sun hurts us by cooking us.
Well, I don't enjoy being in the heat.
You love being in the heat.
I mean, my work enjoys the heat.
Do you enjoy being at baseball games?
Yes.
At NASCAR events?
Yes.
All take place in the heat.
No.
Name one indoor NASCAR track.
There are no indoor NASCAR tracks. But NASCAR season starts in February.
The hottest month of the year.
There was one year where the Daytona 500 was run where we had a blizzard.
A heat blizzard.
It was not a heat blizzard.
The worst kind of blizzards.
So I'm going to say that was 2002 because it was Michael Waltrip's second win because it was rain shortened. So we had a blizzard because a friend who was part of the fire department time, I wasn't a member yet, came to check on us right when everything started. He could still get out and about. So that doesn't happen in the heat.
Oh, so there one race
There's more than
one race one time 2.5 decades ago.
You know,
Perfect
there's
example.
racing in February and March. It's not normally hot in Pennsylvania in March. March is nice.
For the most part.
And, you know, there's October and November. NASCAR's still going on.
October's hit or miss.
October's beautiful.
Well, it is.
Weather-wise.
At the very end. You could have hot Octobers.
You can also have snow at the Ren Fair in early October.
Yep. So you got me. NASCAR's a cold event, is what you're saying?
No. I'm just saying it's most of the year.
Okay, so your rebuttal to me is, because the NASCAR season is 11 months out of the year.
It's not 11.
11 months. Same with baseball. Baseball, you have the World Series, you get 2.5 weeks off, and they're like, back to baseball.
I like hockey.
Played in the heat wave.
It's not played in the heat wave.
90% of the season anymore is played outside. I blame that on like sponsorship.
But no, I mean, a lot of people enjoy summer.
Yeah, fools. Fools enjoy.
See, this is the history of pitying the fools that like summer.
Yep, ones that ride bicycles that are, their pinpoints at the very front.
So let me ask everybody, and you can leave this in the comment. If you are a jogger, if you enjoy going out and jogging in the summer, why do you do it in the middle of the day?
So you don't get hit by traffic. That's why I jog in the middle of the day.
You don't jog at all.
During the middle of summer, you better believe. It's 104 outside. I'm like, oh snap, let me get my
like today, it was all but 90. And I was coming home around noonish, and there were people out jogging, and it was hot. Like really hot. If I was a jogger, I would go in the evening. I mean, maybe they can't go in the evening.
Exactly.
But if I had my thing, I'd actually jog overnight.
So when traffic can hit you.
Why are you jogging in the street?
Why are you jogging, period? The only time one should be running is for their lives.
Well, I only have to outrun you, and that's not an issue.
Yeah, and I'm okay with being eaten by a bear. I'll go all, hey bear, you ain't vegan.
Hey bear?
Hey
like
bear.
Bobby Hey Bear?
Yep. I'm okay with being destroyed by nature because it's part of the way.
So, but anyways, summer things. What do you enjoy during the summer? Again, instead of staying inside.
But air conditioning was invented for summer. Just like heating was invented for winter. I guess fans were invented for spring and fall?
Yeah.
I don't know many people using fans in spring.
We do.
Well, yeah, because I love fans.
I always have a fan. Even in the winter, I have a fan on at night. because I like air movement.
Trying to think.
I have a fan in my office at the fire department. Even though I can turn the AC on, I just like the air movement.
Yeah, I guess that would be what I enjoy about summer. Fire. Fires are great. They are.
Like, what kind of fire?
Fire
Just like
period.
random?
Yeah. If I'm out and about and I see a fire, I'm like, oh snap, fire. I love fire.
Like
Which is weird because you think you would hate fire during the summer because it's hot.
campfires are like a fall thing. Though you go camping in the summer, you do have a fire.
Yeah.
We were in scouting.
Yeah, and you sit around the fire at summer camp and it's 90 out, and then you sit around the fire getting hotter. You're like, oh, why is it
I did.
I did.
I slept most of the time at summer camp as an adult. I'd go to breakfast, come back to the campsite, take my mandatory Scoutmaster nap, get up, go to lunch, come back. Well, I'd stop by the commissioner corner and talk to those guys for a while. And I'd go back to camp, take a nap, get up for dinner. But that's because you're in the middle of the woods and it's 100 and some degrees out. You're not one of the kids. And granted, I was in my 20s.
Practically in the grave.
To them, I was.
Yeah.
I slept a lot at summer camp.
It's because it's hot. Hence the summer.
But like for me, summertime, I enjoy going to baseball games. I enjoy,
Maybe that's
now Dover's moved to May.
Maybe that's why I hate summer. It's baseball and heat. I don't want to sit outside for 4 hours being bored.
I have gone to Pocono during the summer for a NASCAR race.
Big mistake.
And you've gone to Pocono for a NASCAR race during the summer.
Heat stroke and hearing loss.
And you loved it. Dad loved it.
I'm pretty sure that's what gave Dad his skin cancer on his arm.
And you talk about it, that you enjoyed it?
Yeah, leaving. Lemonade. I enjoy lemonade.
You can drink lemonade year-round.
You can, but there's something more American feeling about drinking in the summertime.
There is.
When I think of summer in America, I think lemonade. Even though beer commercials would have you think otherwise. Like, I don't think lemonade like Japan.
Well, that's where you get the summer shandy from Leinenkugel, which is beer and lemonade mixed.
Yeah.
Never had it.
Don't look at me.
And they do make like the hard lemonade now.
Yeah.
But yeah, lemonade in a nice tall glass with ice. That is a very good...
Like, you could have that any month, but during the summer, it drinks better.
Well, we used to go to a wing place by us. And we used to go in the summer quite a bit. With Quaker Steak and Lube.
Oh, okay. I'm like, a wing place by us. Okay.
Yeah, we used to go in the summer more than any other time of year.
Yeah.
And that's what we ordered. We ordered the tall glasses of lemonade. Until they started charging the same price for a refill.
Yep.
That was out.
Yep.
Yeah, when you expect the bill to be $20 and it's like 57 because of the refills on lemonade.
It's the lemonade.
Yeah. I don't know if any of them are open anymore. But yeah, lemonade.
Lemonade is pure. It's a summer thing. They gotta sell more lemonade during the summer than
I'm sure. I'm an iced tea guy. That's why you have Arnold Palmer's.
Yeah. Trying to think what other things are nice. See, the problem is we live in a tourist town, which makes you hate summer.
Well, it's so our tourist thing never really stops. It just decreases in January and February.
Which is probably why I like those months.
Yeah.
Because I don't have to deal with people slamming their brake and saying, look, Hershey Kiss lights. I'm going to take a picture in the middle of the road.
Because I was out and about. We were filming this on a Saturday. And driving through town today was absolutely crazy. With just nuts amount of people. And we're only in May.
Yep. It will only get worse.
And once concerts start up again.
Because what? They said during I'll say a normal year, because this year still won't be normal. Our town can become like the third biggest populated town in the state.
Something like that. So if the amusement park in our town is full and they have a sold out concert, if you add that to the number of residents in our town, we become.
I mean, if it's early enough in the summer season, the Bears are still in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Calder Cup would be amazing if you were in the Stanley Cup. In the Calder Cup playoff, I have a Calder Cup game as well.
Well, the AHL has worked with them in the past on home games, not during other events. Because they've had to not reschedule, but the circus used to come in Memorial Day weekend or Memorial Day week in there. So they couldn't have any playoff games at home then. Yeah. So there's been times where we would have been the home team. Yeah. But we had to start on the road.
So you could have like the circus or Disney.
Well, they don't have the circus anymore.
Oh, way back then. Okay, you can have Disney on Ice, a concert, the park, and something else. And all of a sudden, our town absorbs.
Yeah, I mean, there have been times where there's been. Now, granted, high school football is not huge, but at that time we were still bringing in fans. People actually came out to the games. So the amusement park was open for their Halloween thing. There was a football game in the stadium. There was a children's show in the Giant Center. And there was an event going on at the Hershey Theater. So every single thing that could have had an event going on in our town had an event going on in our town. Yeah. Now, granted, it wasn't the middle of summer, but now you add last year, we were supposed to have a day where we had two concerts at the same time. So you would have had the amusement park open, a concert in the Giant Center, and a concert in the stadium, all at the same time.
Theoretically, we could have 3 concerts going on because you could shove someone in the old arena because it's still there.
Yeah, they don't. It's not set up for that anymore.
It wouldn't be that hard to put in a
you put it in the theater.
Yeah. Well, so there you could do 4: a theater show, an old arena show, a new arena show, and a stadium show.
I mean, and I believe I can't quote. Nobody quote me on this because haven't looked at the schedule because I will be taking these days off if they're still doing that again, where we're going to have the show in the Giant Center and the show in the stadium at the same time. And that was going to be on back-to-back days. 2 days in a row. I believe it was Fish that was going to be in the Giant Center both days, which there you bring in the people that aren't even going to the concert. Yeah. And then it was the Joan Jett.
The Blackheart Tour.
Her and I forget who else was all on that at the stadium. And then I forget who the other one was. Though I do believe Dead and Company is coming this year.
Probably with Fish.
Well, no. They can't do them at the same time. It's the same fan base.
Well, it'd be in the same show.
Well, no. Fish is coming back to the Giant Center.
Okay.
Dead and Company is going to be at the stadium.
Oh, okay.
So if you are a Grateful Dead fan, what is your take on John Mayer being the lead singer of the Grateful Dead? I know our off topic has been all over the place from summer to the concerts, but what do you think about John Mayer being the lead singer of the Grateful Dead?
Well, I'll admit that I'm not the biggest Deadhead in the world. I only know 2 songs.
I know 2.
I mean, everybody knows Touch of Grey.
Yeah, that's my favorite song.
It's their best song, in my opinion.
It's the song that the non-Deadheads know.
Oh, yeah.
And Casey Jones.
Yeah.
I probably know more, but...
But I can't imagine them being too upset. They don't seem like a kind of crowd that'd be non-chill for some obvious reasons. I can't imagine an angry Deadhead.
No, but I mean, do you think that they're like, oh man, we got this John Mayer as our lead singer now? You know, forget Jerry Garcia. I was going to call him Jeff Garcia. I'm like, no, he was a quarterback.
Yeah, well, maybe they forget him too.
I started at Jeff Garcia and then went Cherry Garcia.
Yep, you got there eventually.
And
I would care less about the Grateful Dead fans because I think they still go because of the community.
Yeah.
I'd like to know the John Mayer fans if they end up going because John Mayer's lead singing. Because those are 2 different fan base.
Now, I don't know if I'll work that day or I'll go as part of the fire department just to see if they do Your Body is a Wonderland.
Maybe.
Because I want to see a Grateful Dead version of Your Body is a Wonderland.
Sounds like the normal one, just with a jam at the end.
Yeah, there's like a 15-minute jam session in the middle of that. You know, and I really would like to see how many John Mayer fans come to a Dead and Company.
You're like, here's this guy with like a 4-foot-long gray beard. Here's this woman in her early 20s going to the same concert.
Well,
early 30s.
When Sheryl Crow and Kid Rock toured together.
You could tell the crowd separation.
I worked that concert, and yeah, when Sheryl Crow was done performing, a large portion of that crowd left.
Sometimes just concert pairings don't make sense to me. Like it was Shaggy and was it NSYNC or
I think Backstreet Boys.
Yeah,
it was a boy band because parents would not let their kids come in when Shaggy performed. Mm-hmm. When he was done performing, they would then come in.
Yeah,
which I thought was weird. It's Shaggy.
Yeah, the man served the military. God bless the man.
I thought his 2 popular songs were fine.
Yeah.
I sing along with them.
I don't think your kid's gonna start committing adultery for A, they're not married, and B, I don't think a song is gonna be the one that convinces you. You're like, you know what? I could get away with adultery. All I gotta do is say it wasn't me.
Did you see that there was a commercial out with this now?
Yeah, it came out during the Super Bowl.
Did it?
Yeah.
How did I miss that?
Mm.
I was probably too enthralled with the rest of the Super Bowl. Yeah, it's Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis.
Yeah.
And Shay. Yeah. I just saw it the other day and I started laughing.
That's been running since the Super Bowl.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
But so we are a tourist town where we live.
Yeah, so I think that makes me hate summer. Between the sun and tourists. The sun beats you down and the tourists yell at you. Nothing fun about those 2 things coming together. Bring me joy.
What about swimming?
Drowning, you mean? I mean,
I can swim.
I can swim, but the threat of drowning.
You actually haven't gone up to our friend's pool in years.
Yeah.
I didn't go last year. Or the year before.
I think the last time I was at your friend's pool there was about 3 years ago, 4 years ago.
No. I need to go up this year. I enjoy swimming. I'm not a beach person.
No.
Tim loves laying out at the beach.
I won't. I was probably to the beach when I was little because we did everything when I was little.
You were to the Outer Banks? No, we weren't to the Outer Banks. We were somewhere in North Carolina that it's not really a beach that we were at. You were to Panama City Beach in Florida.
Yeah, probably.
When we went down to visit.
Yeah, I was real little.
No, you would have been 4th grade?
No, I don't have much of a memory when it comes to that. I was
3rd or 4th grade. We swam in the Gulf of Mexico. It was, all I remember is it was very warm water. It was like bath water. And it was crystal clear. And there were lots of people.
Well, I also went to the beaches there near Tampa when we had our band trip down there. It was December or January.
December it would have been.
Yeah, it was in December, so no one went in. I don't think the beaches were technically open. It just kind of it kind of looked like we were doing a really bad Christian album cover with like 60 people just kind of standing, staring at the ocean.
Well, when we did the band trip to California, we got to go to the beach. Mm-hmm. You weren't supposed to go into the water because all it was, we were getting off the bus. You'd go stand in the stand to say you were on the beach on the West Coast. Some kids ran out of the water quick. So I was in the sand. Mm-hmm. So I can say I've been, to the beach on the Atlantic side, the Pacific side, and the Gulf Coast.
All I remember from being at the beach there in Tampa was saying, "Hey, is that Tropicana Field over there?" And somebody saying, "Yep." And I was like,
Though my favorite beach are the beaches of Cheyenne.
Yep. Well,
for anybody who knows, it's a Garth Brooks song.
I mean, we live near the shore.
We're within a couple hours.
I mean, we live on the east shore, and then there's the west shore.
Yeah, so where we live in Pennsylvania, the Susquehanna River runs through Harrisburg and down past us. So there's always an East Shore, which we live on, and a West Shore sort of rivalry thing. You know, people on the West Shore don't like people on the East Shore. I was actually doing an event with my Italian ice business on the West Shore. Somebody asked where I was from. Stupid thing, I told them where I was from. And after that, when people found out I was from the East Shore, I couldn't even give away free samples. So it's very weird like that.
Yeah, I know when we go to our favorite gaming place, I never bring up where we're from.
Everybody knows where we're from.
Did you lie so they didn't shun us?
No.
They're like, shun.
No, but so, yeah, I guess sort of we're the shore of the river.
There's no beach anywhere.
Yeah.
On City
Mount
Island.
Gretna
Oh, okay.
has a beach at their lake. City Island had a beach. They don't anymore.
Yeah, they got rid of it.
Yeah, we don't really have any beaches. We're not that far from Ocean City, Maryland. Well, I guess it is a hike to Ocean City, Maryland. That's where everybody goes. Everybody goes to Ocean City, Rehoboth.
Yeah.
Not a beach person.
Yeah.
Give me the mountains.
Give me a building with air conditioning.
Tim will take a walk-in freezer.
Oh, best part about working in the culinary industry, walk-in freezer.
But yeah, neither of us are a huge fan of summer. My business depends on it.
Not really. Most of your sales come during the winter months.
Yes,
normally.
that is true. February, March, and April are my busiest months selling Italian ice.
Yeah.
I only have technically one event in summer in July. The rest is in the fall and winter. But I work at the amusement park in the town also, so that's our busy season. We're just getting into that. You're off during the summer.
That's another thing I love about summer. I don't work. I don't have to.
You haven't worked since last March.
Well, I blame the pandemic on that. Mainly because they're not feeding the kids, hot food at where I work. So there's no reason to have me come in there, take an Uncrustable, and put it in a bag. So
that takes skill.
So that's probably why 2020 was the best year of my life. I didn't have to deal with elementary school kids.
You just had to deal with me all the time.
Yep. But when I get back to work, hopefully in August,
Let's
fingers crossed that they have hot food. Because I can't imagine they're saving money on these Uncrustables. Those are one of the most expensive things we've always got.
Yeah, so you always get off in the summer, and I always have to work.
Mm-hmm.
But summer is an okay time. My favorite season of the year is fall. By far. But figure we're coming into summer. We'll talk a little bit about it. We've covered a lot of things here, concerts, shores.
We got very off topic.
We were pitying the fools that have to listen to us.
Yep, I'm as confused as that cat I put in the picture.
But anyways, again, if you want to hear us ramble on about something,
I get next month, which is nice.
Put it in the topic. Tim plans the off topics a little bit more than I do. I just like to go off the cuff. But if you have something that you're interested in hearing us ramble on.
May, June. So you have July. So I'm assuming I already figured out your off topic because your one from 2 months ago was amusement parks. Because you're like, amusement parks are starting up. Yeah. This one was summer. So in July, you'll be like, we're in the middle of summer. What do you love about Midsummer?
No. What happens in July?
Midsummer's Night by Shakespeare.
No.
Oh. So NASCAR's already happened.
There's the best birthday in the world.
Santa Claus?
Yep.
Yeah. Why do you think we have Christmas in July?
Yep.
No one ever brings up Santa's birthday.
But again, leave in the comments if you'd like to hear me ramble on about stuff. Thank you for watching. Please do like and subscribe.
It does help the channel. If this is your first video watching, please check out our 1 year anniversary video that we put up a little bit ago to get a feel of what this channel is about.
And hear us ramble on some more.
Yeah, well, that's mainly what our channel is about. Other than that, thank you for watching. And like my brother said, please like and subscribe. And we'll see you for the next month of June.
June.
Yep. Bye.
Halfway through the year.
Yep.